Dr. Mindy here, and we are going to go into carbohydrates that actually are considered fat loss carbohydrates. And when you eat them, two things could happen. One, you may not gain weight, and the two, you may accelerate weight loss. So I'm gonna go through 7 of them, and I'm gonna go through the 7, and I'm gonna talk about what they do for making sure you don't gain weight, and I'm gonna talk about what some of these do to actually accelerate fat loss. The first thing we got to really do is break down the word carbohydrate. I feel like a carbohydrate has become this like dirty word and everybody's scared of carbs. In fact, I'll use myself as an example. When I first started doing the ketogenic diet, I remember I got so focused on meat and vegetables, and a friend turned to me one day and she said, "Do you not eat fruit anymore?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And she's like, "Are you fearful of fruit?" And I realized she was absolutely right. I was fearful of eating fruit because I looked at it as a carb and I was like evil. My brain was like, no carbs. Until I really started to go, well, what is at the root of what makes a good carb? And what makes a good carb is actually answered by what makes a bad carb first. So a bad carb is anything that spikes your blood sugar really, really high. The higher the blood sugar goes, the harder the journey over into fat burning is going to be. So a good carb is anything that's going to just give you a little bit of an increase in your blood sugar so you can get over into fat burning as quickly as possible. So good carbs have some interesting qualities to them, but the number one quality they have is good carbs have fibers. So like a green salad, green leafy vegetables are good carbs, and so they have a lot of fiber in them. So when you eat that, you're not going to spike your blood sugar and you can get over to fat loss much quicker. But it's also what makes a good carb is what you pair it with. So if you pair a carbohydrate with a protein, now protein's gonna slow that spike of blood sugar. So it's gonna make it easier to go over to fat burning. And if you put some fat in it, remember, fats are like the brake, like they stop your blood sugar from spiking. So a really positive thing would be to make sure whatever carb you choose that you pair it with protein and fat. So number 1, good carb I really want to encourage you to eat are berries. All kinds of berries. Now, interesting enough, you might be like, well, that's boring. Okay, well, let's put something yummy with it. What if we put it with some Greek yogurt? What if we put some cacao, sprinkled some cacao over the top? Like you can really dress up the berry. I put berries all the time in my salad to just add a little burst of sweetness. So I love blueberries. They're low on the glycemic index, meaning they won't raise your blood sugar. They're also very low in oxalates and lectins, so they're not going to irritate the microbiome of your gut. Okay, number 2. This one, again, you're going to be like, what? This is a trick video. It's not a trick video. I promise you. Wait till I get to the end. Number 2 is green apples. So I personally like Newtons and Pippins. They are the lowest of all apples on the glycemic index. But the reason I like green apples is because they become like a plate for something yummy that you can put on top of it, like nut butter. So when I eat a green apple, I don't just eat an apple. I cut it up and I put walnut nut butter is my new favorite. I put walnut on there. Sometimes I'll put some grass-fed cheese. So now you're adding that fat, stabilizing your blood sugar even more. So when we look, and you might be like, well, I like pink ladies, or maybe you like just a red apple. I don't know your apple favorite, but when you cut an apple and you got a slice, it's like it's a plate. That's the way I look at it. It's a plate and you can put some fat on it, and it's not only going to enhance the flavor, but you're also going to see that it doesn't spike your blood sugar, so you can switch over quicker. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is my favorite bread substitute, and it's radicchio. So radicchio, you've probably heard me say this in other videos. I've tried, when I got rid of eating bread like sandwiches and I wasn't eating bread as much, I kept trying all kinds of lettuce wraps, butter lettuce wraps, and I don't know about you, like I wrapped hamburgers in them and I was like dripping all over my body. It was so messy. And then I found radicchio, and like that red radicchio, it pops off its little ball of radicchio very quickly. I actually will will put some, my favorite is Chipotle mayo by Primal Kitchen. I'll just put it on there. Then I'll put some meat, I'll put a burger, put some cheese, maybe even a little sauerkraut and wrap it up and it holds together. So I love radicchio. Yes, it's a carbohydrate. Yes, it's lower in the glycemic index, but it acts like a really good resource for bread when you're trying to get off that highly refined processed diet. Okay, number 4. Those of you that have been following me for a while, I hope you know this is my favorite food. In fact, if all my friends were in this video right now, they'd be like, yep, it's her favorite food. My kids were here, they'd be like, we have it every night. And that is a sweet potato. I don't know what it is. Me and sweet potatoes are besties. And what I like about sweet potato is they come in a lot of different flavors. So, you know, there's yams, there's the purple sweet potato on the inside. We sometimes buy all different kinds and chop them up. But here's what's magical about sweet potatoes is they're actually lower in the glycemic index. So that means they won't spike your blood sugar as high. So they're a little bit lower, and they also are an incredible precursor for progesterone. So remember, you need progesterone to calm you if you're a woman and to shed your uterine lining. So we got to help nurture progesterone. We've done so many hormone tests in my online community, and no woman over 40 has good progesterone. So more sweet potatoes is going to help with that. Also, you can add some grass-fed butter to it. Okay, now we're going to go 3 that are sweet tooth for the sweet tooth lovers. The number 5 is dark chocolate. So here's the thing with dark chocolate is you want it dark, like 70% chocolate or higher, because it won't be as high on the glycemic index. So let's get a dark chocolate. Oftentimes where I use dark chocolate is at night, like a sweet tooth will kick in, maybe like 8 o'clock at night. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh God, like I'm not going to bed for another hour or 2. The sweet tooth kicked in. What am I going to eat? And I have bars of chocolate throughout my whole house, and they're all dark chocolate. Some of them have a wrapped around nut, and I just pull a little square or 2 out, and it's enough to satisfy a sweet tooth. And it will not typically spike your blood sugar because it's dark. So it's milk chocolate's going to have a little more of a spike. I prefer just give me really good dark chocolate, and you can put sugar in it. If it's really dark, it's not going to have as much sugar. Okay, number 6. I made this a lot during the pandemic. A crustless cheesecake. Okay, have you been watching my videos and you're like, I don't know how to put this stuff all together? You might need my fasting lifestyle free course. I'll teach you exactly how to do it. Just click on the link below. It'll take it to you, and it's absolutely free. My gift to you. Actually has the right combination of ingredients. It has a lot of fat. Make sure you get good organic ingredients. So it has a lot of fat, and then it has some tartness, especially from the cream cheese. And if you put some sugar in it, that fat puts the brakes on the sugar raising of the sugar. So, and I cook with coconut sugar. Coconut sugar is a little lower on the glycemic index. So, during the pandemic, Sunday afternoon, it was like every Sunday afternoon, I don't know if it was therapy for me or what, I was making and baking something, and my son loves cheesecake, so we experimented with all different types of cheesecake. So, cheesecake is amazing because it's packed with fat. Just make sure the ingredients are great and leave the crust out. Okay, number 7. Now this one shocked me, and I did not believe that it could do this to my blood sugar. But here's what it is, and I'm going to tell you a story behind it. It's MCT oil brownie. Now, I don't have a recipe for you. You can go Google MCT oil brownies, but let me tell you a little story about blood sugar. Many of you know that I'm a part of Jesse Itzler's mentor team, where we are helping support entrepreneurs with optimal health. And I was at a retreat with all the mentors and the people in Jesse's group, and they hired a vegan chef from the Fairmont, incredible chef, to come in. Now, I don't eat vegan food. I don't like vegan because it spikes my blood sugar too high. So I was a little dubious, but I'm always adventurous with my eating style, so I was excited to try something new. So the first day, I was just eating everything that was vegan, and then I was measuring it on my blood reader, my blood sugar, or my CGM, and it was like the spikes were crazy. They were just so high. And then on the second day, and there was nothing I could do. It was just a situation I was in. It tasted good. It's like when in Rome, literally, you want to make sure that you are, enjoying the experience. So the second day, she put out these MCT oil brownies. They were so good. They were so moist. And I took a bite of one and I scanned my blood sugar about a half hour later, and it was stable. It didn't spike at all. I was like, okay, there must be a reading mistake. I scanned it, and half an hour later, it was starting to drop. And another hour after that, it was continuing to drop. How could the quinoa pasta and all the Impossible burgers and all the other vegan foods spike my blood sugar? And on the second day, she hands me a MCT oil brownie, and my blood sugar goes stable, and within an hour is now dropping. How did that happen? And that's because MCT oil is specifically an oil that helps us switch over into this fat-burning ketogenic energy system. So it not only puts the brakes, but it actually becomes a tool to get you over into your fat-burning place. I actually went to her and I was like, Leslie, like, this is crazy. Like, I've been eating vegan food. They're super yummy. But when you gave me that brownie, what did you put in it? Because it made my blood sugar go down. So remember, when we think about carbohydrates, we can't just fear them all. We got to look at where the healthy nature's ones that have a lot of fiber, low on the glycemic index. And what about those ones that, like a cheesecake and a brownie, that I love and I want to make sure that I have? How can we make it so that it actually can support our fat loss habits? So there you go. Those are some gems. If you have a great recipe for MCT oil brownies, put it in the comments. But as always, don't give up on yourself, please. And let me know which one of these tips you like best. Okay, you're not losing belly fat. I get it. Watch this video so you know exactly how to get rid of your belly fat. So I really want you to remember that cortisol and belly fat, those go hand in hand. So as your belly is growing, it's not always diet related. It can also be stress related.